I'm super excited about this particular episode because what I'm going to give you now has drastically changed our business and we've grown so much. And it's about how to price your products or services to get more sales, convert more sales, help more people without spending hours on it. I actually show you exactly our type of package structure and our proposal that we send out now, and also how we used to do it and what did not work. So hope you guys love it.
My name is Corné Ladigan, co-founder of BizVideo. The purpose of this podcast is to take you on a journey of how we use story to grow our business. Thank you for joining me today.
Hey guys, welcome to another podcast. Today I'll be talking about how to price your products and services to convert more sales or more projects or whatever you're doing in less time. Now, as you can imagine, we're in the service-based, type of, we've got a service-based business and we create videos for businesses and so on. So normally we can't escape this thing. We've always had to go and create a proposal or a quote for a client. And the thing is, it just takes forever. And like anyone, you want them, like any business, you want to win the business. If you send out a proposal or a quote, it means that you are you've qualified that business and you actually need that project, or you need to sell them that service to either make some money or grow the business and so on. So you actually create a quote. Now you can't escape this. And the problem is, back in the day, I would meet up with the prospect and then consume all the information, see what they want, and then I'll go away, craft a proposal. And these proposals were massive. And I did them, from the start, like from a blank canvas every single time. As time went on, I started creating a template and started just adjusting that template a lot. But even with just adjusting the template, it took me at least 8 hours to create this proposal. And the funny thing is, they didn't even convert most of the time. They were just super confusing and just too many details and so on. So I actually have I went out and had a look in some old ones and found an old one that I used to use. So I'll just quickly show you here. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably can't see it, but I'll try and explain as much as possible. And if you look over here, so this is the front page. So everything's beautiful and there's so many different details and it's very wordy. And for every proposal, I actually created custom images and everything so that person can relate to it. So I'll just quickly go through it a little bit. So as you can see, these proposals were just so long. And most of the time when I delivered these proposals, people were just super confused. I actually have another one here that I can show you. It's one we did for one of our clients. It's like they do a lot with animals and so on. So as you can see here, I created every single word is catered just for them, and all the images as well. So I put in all these images of pets and so on, so that they can relate to it. But again, it's just pages and pages and pages. And seriously, I was like, wow, this is going to blow them away because this is something different. They would never have done anything would have never received a quote like this, and they will see all the effort I put into it and so on. So again, it took me up to 8 hours easily. Once I've streamlined the process, once I had a template, it still took me 8 hours. So like I said, the thing is, we didn't convert too many either. The other thing was it took ages for the clients that we did convert, took ages, because when we present this proposal, so back in the day we would either send it or present it in person, then they'll go, okay, fantastic, I'll think about this. Now, Russell Brunson, he always says a confused mind always says no, and trust me, these proposals confused everyone. It's crazy. It even confused myself. Now imagine all this detailed, this document, people go away and they've got to think about it and read it, and it just didn't make sense. So it took ages to convert these clients. And then I needed to change. I needed to create something completely new. I couldn't just adjust these proposals, because every single time I created a new proposal, I did adjust it, because I'm like, oh, how can we make it better? Because obviously I need to convert more sales. And so I was like, man, we need to do something drastic. You know that saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. In this case, it was broken, so you got to fix it. So anyway, the plan was we actually signed up with a strategic advisor at that time, and he said, these proposals are way too complicated and confusing. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's something we need to change, but I just don't know what to do. And so what he did was he said, okay, fantastic. So first of all, just you can eliminate a lot of these different pages, and then also just give them 3 different options. Because back in the day, I would, in these proposals, it would be like this lengthy proposal, and then like, boom, this is what we can do for you, and this is how much it's going to be. And there weren't too much flexibility. I always said, yeah, we can move things around and so on, but honestly, there's so many details already. Now, if we go move everything around, it's just going to confuse people even more, and it just takes so much time. I was getting so frustrated with this because I'm like, we need to grow this business, we need to get more projects, we need to far out, like, why are we doing this? If we're not converting too many people, like, why are we doing this? And anyway, so we straight away, we're now strategic. Once we've done that little those changes with our strategic advisor, we immediately got more results, and it was amazing. And then I actually came across this this guy here. His name is Blair Enns. Like, this is one of his books, Win Without Pitching. So I read his book a few years ago, and it's more so towards agencies and so on. And but I did get a few little takeaways from it. And there was this point last year, the year before last, where I'm like, I saw one of his blog posts or something, I can't remember. And then Andre and I, we were planning to go to America to go to this conference. And I know this guy, Blair, he's in America. So I'm like, oh, let's just see if he has any speaking engagements or like speaking events while we're in America. Like, we're only there for like 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, like 10 days. But I'm like, oh, just imagine. So I went on his website, and surely the funniest thing happened. He said he's speaking in Brisbane in 2 weeks' time. I was like, no way. Like, what are the chances of that? So I'm like, we can go to this guy's event. We don't even have to go to America or anything else like that. So so I was on his site, I booked the event, and then at the same time he revealed this new book that he was talking about for ages. Like, even when I was reading this book and I was reading some of his blogs and so on, he was mentioning, yes, he's creating this new pricing book. It's all about pricing for agencies. So I was like, oh, this is something we need. I mean, we're converting more people anyway because we've simplified our proposal already. Anyway, so I bought that pricing book, and it was a lot more than just a book. I mean, if you go buy a book like this, it's like, what, $20 max, $30? And he priced this pricing book at like the easiest, the cheapest option was $100, and it was for a PDF. So I was like, oh, you know what, that's wow, $100 for a ebook. I don't even know if it's going to work, blah blah blah. So I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to buy it. I bought it, and then through this whole process, I read this book. I was like, whoa. I was just blown away because he's gathered all this pricing information from all these different books and like from all these pricing experts and everything, and he's combined it into something that makes sense to me. So we've simplified our proposal even more. We created a 1-page package with 3 different options, and then what we do is then we've got a formal agreement that's got more details and everything else like that. So, but the first thing we do is we'll catch up with our client or prospect. And then we'll come up with a 1-page proposal, and this is what it looks like. So it's super easy. I don't even have to flick the pages or anything else like that. So if you're listening to this, what you're looking at is you're looking at a 1 page with 3 columns, option 1, 2, and 3, and each option, as the options go up, the value increases and the price also increases. So anyway, that's what we created. Just to quickly explain what it actually is, so for example, in our case here, so we've got option 1, which is like, let's say that's basic, and then so it includes, like, let's say a video, an overview video. Then you go up over to option 2, and that includes overview video plus a case study, and then the third option includes both those, so overview, case study plus 5 content videos, and then the price also goes up. So I've just said $1, $2, $3, just so you can see like the actual price goes up. So anyway, that's what we started doing, and we actually just use this 1-page proposal, it's not even a proposal, it's really just a tool, it's a guide. It's something, it's like an aid that I can go and show people, and the proposal is the conversation that takes place. So the verbal conversation, the words that come out of my mouth, that is the end proposal. So no more 8-hour proposals, anything else like that. If there was a client that needed something very specific, and it's something we haven't been able to package together like that, I'll go, fantastic. We'll have to, and if the case was I needed to go back to my team to work everything else out, we'll go away, we'll literally just jot it down on a piece of paper and think about what are we going to propose here. And then it literally takes 1 minute to fill in all those details in that one-page proposal, and then I'll go see the clients and show the proposal and talk through the proposal. And the great thing about this is super simplified. So I'm not going to crazy details here. It's just lorem ipsum. So we just talk about. So there it might be like a story development session. Then we'll go, okay, well the benefit of story development session is this, this, and this. You'll walk away with a very clear message, a story, what visuals we need to capture, everything else like that. That's what that means. So I'm really trying to simplify everything in the client's mind, because things are so crazy already. Like the world is crazy. Our clients, they have their business to run. They're talking to 1 million people every day. And now the last thing they need to do is try to decipher what I'm trying to say to them with some technical mumbo jumbo industry keywords. So that's something we took away completely. We're like, no industry keywords, no video keyword, like weird language or anything, just super simplified. And so we started converting almost 100% of all the proposals that we've given him. Now, one thing you just have to note there is our qualification process is a lot different. So by the time I propose this package, the client and us, we're both fairly certain that we will go through with this project. And this is just a formality at the end of the day, just to get a sign off, get them to choose an option. And then after that, I send the agreement, they sign and pay and everything else like that. So that's why we've been converting 100% of our clients. So instead of getting a lead, taking at least 8 hours to create a proposal, sending it through, two options are they never come back to you, they say no, or the other thing is they take ages and ages to convert. To this, where it's like, I go to the meeting, show the package, and if everything's good, everything, all the boxes are ticked, we just start straight away. So there's no like waiting a year or so to get a sale. It was just crazy. It was crazy back in the day. I can't believe I did it like that. It's funny how you always try and overcomplicate things, and you want to seem like you're smarter than you are and so on through creating these massive proposals and being detailed and using industry terms and so on. But it's so far from the truth. Like if you simplify things, people go, oh yeah, cool. 1, 2, and 3. Like why does McDonald's do so well? It's like meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. You just go meal 1. People want simplicity, like including myself. Like we've got so many decisions to make every single day. It's crazy. So anyway, at the end of the day, we got way more conversions, which meant we were able to help a lot more people, right? A lot more businesses. So it made me realize a few things. Number one is don't confuse people even more. People are already confused. Number two, keep it super simple, okay? And explain why each option is there. And every single detail that you put on that list, right? On the proposal, make sure that you actually need it on that proposal. And if it is there, make sure they understand why it's there. So what's the why behind it? What's the outcome of that? Okay. Number three, don't communicate through the proposal. Communicate by talking to your prospect, so verbally. Number four, and just going back to that, if you can, do it in person. If you can't, then obviously do it over the phone or Skype or something like that. But don't just send a proposal assuming they will understand what it is and understand the value. So you're doing a disservice to both. And the funny thing is, I've got to confess here, sometimes I still send through proposals like that. And then I assume the person is just going to understand the value. And rarely they book, right? It's me being lazy. So this is something I've got to work on myself and go, no, I will only show this proposal in person. And if it's too far from me to go in person, I need to show it through Skype or something like that, so that we can talk through it, talk the proposal out. Because again, what I'm sending is not a proposal. It's literally just an aid to our conversation. Okay, so number four. So Grant Cardone always says something. He says, giving the buyer options actually helps that person, right? So if we just give someone one thing, Because that's what prospects normally come to us and they go, we need this, right? Now, most of the time, and this is key number 5, and I'll come back to number 4 in 1 second. Number 5 is prospects are not always on the right product, right? This gives them other ideas and extra value. Go, oh, okay, cool. Well, we can actually grow even more because we haven't even thought about this, this, and this, and this. So going back to number 4, where Grant Cardone says, giving the buyer options actually helps that person. So what it does on a subconscious level, and this is what he says, it's not something I made up, is if you create different options, it helps that person, and it shows that person, hey, you don't have to go away today and go visit more businesses and get more opinions and options and quotes and all that kind of stuff. Because I've been presented 3 options already, that's been taken care of on a subconscious level. So you're helping that person go, okay, cool. I don't need to go and investigate even further because I've got this problem right now. We need to solve this problem. Let's just get it over and done with, rather than procrastinating and going on and getting all these different quotes from all these different companies and just getting more confused, right? So you're helping the person just become less confused. And on point number 5, which is prospects are not always on the right product, again, people come to us and they go, we need, as an example, I'm just going to throw one out. We need a 30-second video for social media. And then first of all, my first thing is like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can help you with that. But what, like in my mind, I'm like, what do you actually mean by that? Like, if you need that so bad, and if it's just that simple, why don't you just take out your iPhone and shoot a 30-second video and put it on? Like, we need to really figure out why. Like, why do people do why do they need this? So that we can go, okay, cool, well, number 1, that might not work based on our experience and our clients and results we've been able to get our clients. And number 2 is, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about a case study story that, I used this analogy yesterday, like a case study story is like Google Maps for that particular person. And this is why you need multiple case studies. So if you're talking to a person, let's just say an HR manager in a bigger company, you want to show that HR manager in that big company a similar character. So someone you've helped in that position before, because that's their roadmap, that's their guide. It's like, that's their Google map on how they can get from here to over there. Okay, so then you have to start, like, you have to give people different options. So I normally go, yeah, here's that option, here's the 30-second video that you wanted, but hey, just in case, I know you want these type of results, so here's option 2 and 3 for you that you might not have even thought about. And most of the time, I'm like 98% of the time, our clients that turn into clients, they choose a different option to what they came to us for. Because they actually see, hey, there's a better way of doing it based on this video and on our experience. So those are the 5 type of the five reasons that I've realized about simplifying a proposal and giving options. Now, just to give you a few examples. So again, I'll just quickly give you our example. So let's say option 1 will include, let's say, an overview film. Option 2 is we include a case study on top of that, and then option 3 we include 5 content videos on top of that. Now, within each option, we give more value. So for every single one of them, we do a story development session. In option 2, we might add in, let's say, the video marketing distribution course, and then we will add, let's say, a social media edit. And then option 3, you'll get extra added value, right? So now, what can you do? So let's throw, okay, another example for us could be option 1 is 1 case study video, option 2 is 3 case study videos, and option 3 is 5 case study videos. Again, it gives people options, right? They might only want 1 case study video, or they might only want 5, but they didn't realize it's going to cost that much, or the investment's going to be so much. So, hey, here's 2 different options, 3 case studies and 1 case study, because your budget might not allow for 5, but hey, doesn't mean you can't do this. Either choose 1 or 3 case studies. That's just another example. So if you're a software company, let's say, for example, with option 1, you can say you get the software. Option 2, you get the software plus you get an onboarding session, right? Because you want to find out what are some of the problems your clients are going to have if they use your product. So how can we help them even further, provide extra value, right? After the fact, when they've signed up. And what this means is if you can show them on this proposal, on this 1-page proposal before, they might be thinking in their head, oh my goodness, I don't know how, let's just assume you only give 1 option, here's the software. In their mind, they're going to go, how are we going to implement this? Like, this is new software, I don't know how to use it, and so on. So this is where you can create extra value ahead of time in the prospect's mind and overcome that false belief of, I won't be able to set the software up, and go, here's a solution to that. You actually get the onboarding. So option 1, you get the software. Option 2, you get the software plus onboarding. Option 3, you might get software, onboarding, and let's say a little business course on how your style business in your industry can grow in revenue and everything else like that. So it's not so much related to the software, but it gives your clients the ability to grow even further. So that's a software example. Now we've got a whole lot of builder clients. So here are a few examples for the builder clients. So let's assume you do renovations, right? And once you have qualified the client and they're happy to go ahead and so on, here's an example. You can create a one-pager like this, and in option 1, it might be budget. Option 2, it might be standard, and option 3, it might be premium. Now, this will have to change client to client, right? And it's just giving them a guide. So you're saying these are approximates, but it gives them the ability to choose, and it gives them different options again. So let me explain a little bit. So option 1 might be the budget style. So let's just assume you've identified the client has, the customer has a 3-bedroom house. They need to remodel their kitchen, their bathroom, the rooms, and let's just say it's an internal renovation. Okay, so you've identified that. Now you can go give them 3 options. The standard one the budget one, not option number 1, comes with budget like finishes, and it's just like the real budget way of doing it. Like, we're still going to remodel your kitchen, your bathroom, the 3 bedrooms, and so on in the inside. Option 2 might be, this is the standard, right? So this is where the finishes and so on become a little bit better. So we use better tapware, we use better tiles, we use better paint and all those kind of things. Again, we're still doing the bathroom, kitchen, and then the 3 bedrooms as an example. And then the third one could be premium. So this is where it's like, okay, premium finishes, premium tiles, premium paint, and all these things. Again, you're doing exactly the same job. Now, for each one of those, you just go, okay, well, for option 1, which is the budget, it's going to be in the range of $80,000 to $100,000. That's what you can expect. Option 2 is the standard. Now this is the range between, let's say, $200,000 and $220,000. And in the premium, this is going to be between $400,000 and $500,000. Now, this simplifies everything. So instead of like 30-page proposal quote on one of the options, it gets people to go, okay, do I want budget, standard, or premium? What can I afford in those price ranges? Then we can go, okay, fantastic. I can afford, let's say, for example, the standard one, which is around the $200,000 mark. Now let's go into that. And you're getting them to commit to something like that by just giving them easy options. Now, once they've committed to that average one, now you can go into the legal side of things and what you're going to deliver and a formal quote. So like, these are all the formal things. So it's going to work out exactly on $198,000.85, right, as an example. But again, it gives people different options. It puts in context in what they want, because they might have come for that standard anyway, but it gives them context. Like, if you want something cheaper, here's the option, and here's the big one. So in the customer's mind, it gets them to understand the different value levels of value that you provide for them. So those are a few examples of like how you can do it, like if you're in a software industry or the building and renovation, and you can do this in basically every single type of industry, especially in B2B and service-based businesses and so on, and also some product businesses. But yeah, if you have any ideas or any questions about this, definitely hit me up, give me a call. I'd love to help out wherever I can. This has helped our business so much, and this is why I've been so excited to create this podcast today, because it's changed the way we do things. It's really upped our revenue and our profit levels like crazy. And not just that, our clients are happier at the end of the day, because it just makes it so easy for them, and they're actually benefiting from the service that we provide for them, and we're actually helping them overcome some of these problems, and we're providing heaps of value for them doing this. So I hope you have liked this. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go hit subscribe, send me a comment, send me some love, hit that like button. If you're listening to this on any of the podcast channels, definitely subscribe on those channels and review and so on. I'd love your feedback. So have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll chat to you soon.